Am I the a-hole for parentifying my foster daughter? I recently got 3 foster kids, female 13 Diana, male 9 Michael, and female 4 Emily. They are all siblings who were going to be separated, so I got them to avoid that, and I'm planning to adopt them, because they are wonderful kids who I love very much. Anyway, the issue is with Emily. Emily is a very picky eater, and if her food is not made in a specific way, she will not eat it. For example, her bread needs to be cut in a very specific way. I have tried to cut it the way she wants, but she never eats what I make because she says I'm doing it wrong. She will eat what Diana makes, even though I can swear Diana's bread and mine look exactly the same. We have tried tricking her, me cutting the bread and pretending Diana cut it, but she can't be fooled. This is just one example. She is picky with so many more things. Yesterday, I had my friends over for dinner. I called Diana and asked her if she could please help me prepare Emily's food because Diana knows her best. She agreed and started helping me. My friend asked me if Diana is always responsible with feeding Emily. I told her that yes, Diana helps me with this a lot. She then called me an a-hole and accused me of parentifying Diana, saying it's my job to feed my kid, not her job. Am I really the a-hole?
I think the only way you'd be the a-hole is if Diana expressed that doing this for her sister was something that bothered her. Without any context about their situation, I would guess that whatever situation that led to them being in foster care resulted in Diana doing some degree of parenting well before you entered the picture, since Emily prefers food from her. For what it's worth, and I don't know if you've done it already, I think a good idea would be to have a conversation with Diana about this. These type of situations can make oldest siblings feel like they have to be adult. If she's comfortable with or enjoys supporting her siblings this way, it's one thing, but she might not even realize she has the option not to at this point. Not the a-hole, seems like you're doing your best and meeting Emily where she's at.
Not the a-hole. Asking a 13-year-old to help with dinner is not parentifying her any more than asking any child to assist with anything is parentifying them, even if the child complains about it. Many children have chores. If the 9 male's chore was to straighten the living room each afternoon and the majority of the mess was made by 4 female, would that be parentifying him? The fact that any specific chore benefits any specific child and/or helps a parent with a specific child does not mean asking the child to complete the chore is parentifying them. The only way it would cross the line into parentifying them is if 13-year-old's life is negatively impacted by the chore, i.e. female 13 can't go stay the afternoon at a friend's house because she has to stay to make dinner for female 4, etc. Otherwise, using that word here's an insult to every child who is truly being parentified.
Not the a-hole. If Diana doesn't mind, this is the temporary solution to making the child eat. For a 4-year-old, it makes absolute sense. Since there is so little they can control, they tend to try and control food. Imagine being in her situation. She lost her parental figures in home and has so much going on that she will try to find some stability and security anywhere she can. And her sister is that for her. Obviously, time and perhaps therapy will change things for all of you. Edit. I also think that forcing the situation on the food will make it worse and cause major distress not only on Emily, but also Diana. Sometimes you need some patience. You're doing great in offering them a loving and stable home and trying to work with the children with empathy and understanding, rather than forcing your ideas of how it should be. If it can't be done as it should, then it should be done as it can.
Not the a-hole. I detest when phrases like this become buzzwords online. It diminishes the potency of the actual act, while making it so much easier for folks to roll their eyes and dismiss it when they hear it. Asking your foster daughter to help you with her little sister's specific food needs is not parentifying, especially since it seems, from the info we have here, Diana is willing to help. Parentifying her would be you sitting back and having a glass of wine with your friend while Diana feeds, bathes, dresses, cooks dinner, cleans up after dinner, gets her siblings to and from school, and is essentially their primary caregiver in your place.
Am I the a-hole for cutting back on my part of the housework since my wife doesn't make the kids do theirs? Growing up, my wife was parentified by her parents when expected her to do everything in their house so they could work. She was basically a live-in nanny, cook, maid, tutor, and gardener from the time she was 12 until she left for college. She basically had to hide her intelligence from her mom and dad and applied for scholarships and college admission without them knowing. It took a while for their relationship to heal, but it still affects her. I, on the other hand, grew up on a working ranch. I had chores, and lots of them, but my time was my own after they were done. We have been married for 13 years now, and we have 2 kids that we agreed would do chores. The thing is though, she does not enforce the chores. If the kids don't clean up, she doesn't make them put down whatever they're playing with and make them clean up. If my son leaves his dirty dishes on the couch, she won't make him put it away. We have had several discussions about this. The last one after I had to get stitches because of something the kids left undone. I told her that she needed to make the kids do their chores. She said she didn't want them to feel about us the way she felt at her parents'. I said that there was a huge difference between being an unpaid servant and cleaning up after yourself and helping put groceries away. Our kids don't have to curry horses or help with cattle. I have no problem being the bad guy, so I started making the kids do their chores. My wife hated it. I found out that she started doing their chores, so I would think they did them. Fine. I stopped doing mine too. Not the yard work and stuff. Just my part of the housework. She works from home and she has a home office where she sees clients. So if the house is a mess, it reflects badly on her. So she has been doing everything, and she is pissed at me for being so petty. I don't think it's petty to want to raise useful humans. I don't want my son or daughter not being a full partner in their future relationships. My wife has now told the kids that they have to help. She is mad that I manipulated the situation to force her hand. Like I said, I don't think it's too much for kids to clean up after themselves and help with housework. They are both within 10 years of going away to school, and I want them to be civilized.
Not the a-hole. Wife is the a-hole for 4 reasons. 1. She would do their chores behind your back and pretend they'd done them. 2. Once you stopped doing chores and she was left with the whole bag and it risked affecting her work, messy background, bad optics, she got the kids to start doing chores. 3. You guys had a discussion before the kids came along and agreed kids would do chores. 4. You tried talking to her about it. She needs to unpack her childhood trauma since it's still clearly affecting how she raises the kids. And it's making her overcompensate, which in the long run doesn't help the kids. She's the a-hole here. A traumatized one. Has she been to therapy, edit, and maybe couples therapy as well? You guys need to learn to work as a team.
She is not doing these kids any favors as they grow up. Not being able to clean up after yourself will be detrimental in the long run. No one wants a partner whose mommy never made them lift a finger.
Info. I'm assuming your kids are in the 7 to 10 range, so what kind of chores do you have them doing? Are they actually age appropriate considering you got stitches due to them not completing a chore?
One of them left a plate on the couch instead of taking it to the sink when they were done with it. I didn't notice and sat on it. It broke and I had to get stitches on my butt.
Not the a-hole turnabout is fair play. It's obviously not the best solution, but your wife was the one that made that impossible. You tried to talk it over with her, but she started sabotaging your parenting, so it was impossible for you to get the kids do their chores themselves. You made it so that her sabotage of you created consequences for her by passing the sabotage on to her in turn. It was done with a purpose and end goal in mind, not as revenge. Tell her that you of course much prefer to talk things over and come to an agreement you both live up to. Now that she has cut out the sabotage from her end, you have no motivation to undercut her like she does you. If she's mad, she should take a look in the mirror to see where the sabotage tactic originated.
What do you think of these stories? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories.